Hello, this is C-Dub with ProducerClubhouse.com, and today I'm going to show you how to take an 8-measure loop and turn it into a full-blown track. All right, so I'm starting off with a Rhodes sound, and it's in the this is a factory sound in Logic, the EVP88. It looks like this. Has the different settings you can change here. I kind of added some tremolo to it, and so it sounds like this. All right, so let's get started. I'm gonna create me a little loop right here from 1 through 8, and let's get started. Here we go. All right, so we got the Rhodes down. Let's start putting some drums in. Let's go ahead and put some drums in. I like to use some of my samples I have over here, and I like to put the drums on top most of the time. So I go to my EXS24 sampler and get in. I'm gonna start with a kick drum. All right, so I'm probably gonna use 2 kicks in this one. I like the way this one sounds, and I like the way this one sounds because it's tight. This is more open, so I'm gonna put them both together, and I'm gonna play them both at the same time. So here we go. All right, let me go ahead and quantize that. All right, let's move to the next one. Let's add a clap into the mix. Here we go. All right, so I'm gonna quantize that. It sounded pretty good. Gonna go through and add a couple of more things, maybe a shaker, some hats, whatever I'm feeling, maybe some congas. Let's put it all together. All right, so we got drums now. All right, so now let's start adding some other elements. Let's start with let's do a pad, okay, or some kind of synth sound. I'm gonna go into let's create another software instrument here, and I'm gonna go. I'll do the ES2 synthesizer 2. All right, and we're gonna find something in here. All right, so we'll go down. That's nice. Let's use that. Filter passages. That's what I'm going to use. Just gonna click off of this, and we'll record just the chords. Here we go. something else. I'm gonna add a lot of things in this 8 measure loop, and it may even sound a little cloudy right now, but trust me, it's going somewhere. I'm going somewhere with it. All right. So matter of fact, let's mute this, and I'm gonna go to another synth. I'm just gonna duplicate this one and find something else. Maybe another pad or something like that. Let's see. Let me unmute it. All right. Let's use this one, the sweeping pad right here. All right. I'm just gonna put it at the end of the phrase. All right. So here we go. I'll show you what I'm talking about. I'm gonna wait to the end right here. That's all we want right there. All right, so I'm just gonna move this back so it'll create a full 8 measures, but it's still only coming in on measure 7. All right, so I'm gonna quantize that, and then we'll go to something else. How about I just duplicate this, and let's see what's in the synth bells. Maybe there's some. Here we go. All right, we got the bells in there. All right, so the objective is to just really just get creative and just add as many things as you want. There really is no limit, because you can end up using something at some point in the song. You don't have to use all of these in the whole song. So I'm going to show you how to break everything up apart and layer it out. So I'm just going to mute this and just go with something else. All right, maybe a different idea. Let's find out. Let's see what the synth motion sequences are. Let's see if we can find something. All right, let's play around with this one. All right, wave pad groove 1. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so we got that in. Let's go with some strings or something like that, or maybe let's try some strings. So I'm gonna go. I just go to a different synth in Logic. This one right here, actually the EXS24 sampler, but this time I'm gonna use some of the factory sounds here. All right, so we have strings, pop strings. See if we can find one that sounds. That'll work. All right, so here we go. All right. So we got strings, we got pads. Let's find a lead sound. All right, let's go back to Logic instruments. I'm trying to use all Logic instruments I can on this video. So we're gonna go to the ES1 synthesizer, and I'm gonna go to the lead sounds, and I'm sure I'll find something I can use. I like to turn these sounds down because they're loud, like really loud. They come through pretty cut. So I love that sound. I want to do something with it. Let's see if we can come up with something that makes sense. All right. that sound right there makes me want to play. So let's throw some bass on top of this, and then we'll layer it all out and see how we can make a full song out of this. So I got this bass in the ES2 sampler called Real Fat. And we're just gonna play a bass line with that, and then we'll move on. Here we go. All right, so we got that down. I think I may do one more lead sound just to kind of do something with this end part I put on the bass. All right, so make sure this is 8 measures. All right, so we have all of our tracks. If I play them all together, it may sound a little cluttered, but when you do what I'm about to do, it's going to make a lot more sense. So here's what you do. All right, first off, let's open it up a little bit so we can see everything, see all the tracks. All right, so we got about 18 tracks going right now. Well, 17. I'm going to add one more thing, this snare, and then I'll show you how to make this thing into a full song. Here we go. All right, so we got that snare in there. All right, so here's how you do it. First of all, you want to make sure your screen is where you can see everything like this. I just kind of made the track smaller so I can see the whole session. And you want to take this 8 measures right here. Okay, this is an 8 measure loop. And we're going to duplicate this 8 measure. We're going to just slide it over like this. Now, you don't want to just hit loop and do it like that. You want to actually, what I'm doing is I'm holding down Option, and I click and drag just like that. And the reason I'm doing it is to create each section of the song. So like this 8 measure is going to be my my intro, and then this is going to be my verse, and then this is going to be my hook. I'll go back. I may do the hook twice, and so let's start with that. So we got a verse. We have an intro, a verse, and a hook. All right. So let's find out, what do we want in the intro. Okay, I like this wave groove pad for the intro. I think it's pretty cool. All right, maybe a kick. Now that was actually cool coming in on the second half. So what I do is just cut the first part to kick off, and boom, delete that. Now we just have the kick coming in on the second instead of the fourth measure or the fifth measure. How about we do the claps like that too? We may put the sweeping pad at the end. Yep, we'll add that in. And what else we want to add? Maybe the bells? Let's see. Cool. That's going to be our intro right there. So what I do is I'll just take everything that's not soloed right now and delete it on this particular section. That way, that's all I have. So now I can unsolo everything, and that's all it'll play. Oh, sorry, I forgot that one. All right. All right, so we have our intro. Now let's go to the second set of, this will be the verse right here. Okay, so I'll just loop this up and we'll take out what we don't want in the verse. Okay, so basically what you're doing is just eliminating things that you don't want in the section and keeping the things that you do. So here, of course, we'll probably want the kick drum. I'll put the claps in there. I'll put the hats in there. I won't put that in. I don't want that. That's cool. Of course, you want the rolls. We'll put the pad in. All right, so we'll start the verse off like that. All right, for the first half of the verse. So we'll delete everything else that's not in. Okay. All right, and then the second half of the verse, we'll bring in some stuff. So maybe we'll bring in the bass. So we'll keep that in. We won't bring this in just yet. We won't bring the lead sound in just yet. Not the strings, and not that. We'll bring the bells in as well. Okay, and we'll take that out. So we have bells. We got the bass. We'll keep this out for a minute. So basically we brought in the bells and the bass. All right, so this is what the verse sounds like right now. And the bass comes in. And that would be the start of the hook. All right, so let's take this hook. Let me go ahead and quantize this. I didn't think I got it earlier. So let's move to the hook. So let's play around with the hook and see what we want to put in now. So now we have an intro, we have a verse, and we have a hook. So if you play it all together, it sounds like this. Hold up, let me solo it. Solo. Here we go. Second part of your verse. And see, you could go back to the intro. That's something that you could do. Let's do that. Let's do that. All right, so you could go back to the intro and then do the whole thing over again. So what we'll do, I'm going to take this part because this is everything. You notice I don't have a section with everything in it anymore, but I want to make sure I have that. I'm just going to move it down a little bit. We'll come back to it later. All right. So this one, I'm actually going to just duplicate the whole thing over again. Okay. Boom. Everything is duplicated and it's all going to happen twice. All right. So now if you don't want your verse to sound exactly the same the next time, you can change it up. Once it hits into this part, I'm sorry, here we go. Right before the verse. You could actually put the bass in earlier. Maybe bring it in by itself. All right, here's the second verse. Second half of the verse. And the hook. Second half of the hook. All right, so now let's go into the bridge. The bridge, I always like to just drop out all the drums or as much as possible. Maybe just keep the claps in, and that's it. And the pads and stuff like that. So let's play around with the bridge and see what we can come up with. That's cool, just like that, basically. And then just come back in with the second half of the hook. Or you can do the whole hook if you want to. Just copy that whole thing. And then I like to usually just put like a instrumental out. So basically, we just duplicate the last section of the hook and it goes out. So now you have a full track. If you look at it all the way, just like that, you have intro. You got your verse 1. You have your hook. You have your little second intro into the next verse. Then your next verse, verse 2, hook 2. You got your bridge, and then you hook out. All right, if that's a such term. And then basically your instrumental goes out. So if you play the whole thing, I'm going to play the whole track for you. You can listen to it and see, how it all forms to a song. And I hope this tutorial helped you out. Once again, this is C-Dub with ProducerClubhouse.com.